Yes, we can start. Good afternoon. How you guys doing? It was awesome. It was awesome. We got a great group of guys, and yeah, it was just fun to be out there and to play. And to obviously get the win is huge, but our guys were unbelievable. I really should have scored, honestly. I mean, maybe a few years ago, but yeah, they did a good job, kind of all game, of trying to contain the zone read stuff. And I just felt like I had an opportunity there, and our guys did a great job blocking it, and just made a play.
Going in the second half.
I did, yeah.
So what does it mean for you after given what's transpired for you the last couple of weeks to cap the regular season like this?
I think for everybody it was great. We want to just kind of continue this momentum going into the postseason, and yeah, our guys fought hard all day, and that's kind of been the nature of our team throughout the year. And when you have a collective group of guys that just believe in one another, regardless of what your role is, anybody can kind of come in and make plays. So just very appreciative of the guys, and it was fun to be out there today.
For you personally, what does it mean, though? You get the baby and everything.
Yeah, it's been a very surreal couple of weeks. Very blessed to have my little son, and yeah, it's been very, very, very special for me, and yeah, it's hard to put into words, really.
Marcus, just for clarity's sake, when were you told that you were going to?
Coming out of half. Yeah.
Was that ball ever not going to 17? Would it matter?
It's hard not to in that situation for sure. Terry's made unbelievable play and unbelievable plays throughout the entire year. Everybody's got confidence in him, and when he's got a one-on-one, it's hard not to take that.
Hey, Marcus, could you talk about getting this win, how huge it is as you all go into the playoffs?
Yeah, it's huge. We talked about it all week. We wanted to continue the momentum. Regardless of where we were seating, regardless of what was going to happen next week, it's about this week. And I think Coach Q does a great job of keeping our guys focused on the present and just finding ways to get better. We can always improve. And I think when you have that type of mentality and that type of culture, guys just kind of fall into place and you just focus on taking it one day at a time. And then when the season's towards its end and when you're getting into these postseason games, nothing's different. And guys feel very confident. So just got to give a lot of credit to Q and the rest of the staff for having guys believe that and buying in.
Marcus, what prevented you guys from getting in that rhythm on offense, and what sparked that way?
I mean, Dallas did a great job, I thought. They had a good plan early on, and, you know, sometimes it's just execution. And, you know, there's going to be a play here or there that they're going to make. But I thought our guys kind of settled in and got in a rhythm in the second half, and we found ways to make plays.
Thanks, Marcus.
Awesome, you guys. Thank you. Have a good one.
What's up?
What can you say about the ending there?
Winning time moments. You know, we got to find a way to start faster and start better, so our backs aren't against the wall. But you know, it's been kind of the story of our offense and our team, just winning time moments. And as we go into the playoffs, we're going to need faster starts, but more importantly, we're going to need to come through clutch in the winning time moments. So to have that happen backed up against our own end zone, to drive all the way down there. Shout out to our guys. Shout out to the defense. Shout out to Marcus. I mean, I love playing with that guy, man. He's always ready for his moment. He's one of the most humble players I've ever been around. O-line, you know, when we had to have it, they gave him time to get the ball out. So that was a tough win, but you know, we needed that going into the playoffs. We couldn't go in on a loss.
What's it mean for you to be part of a 12-win team?
Oh man, it's amazing. That's why you work so hard in the off season, honestly, to win as many games as you can. To be sitting here right now, going into the playoffs, and have a chance to win it all. You know, it's a new season. It's anybody's game. It's anybody's trophy, and we believe if we put our best foot forward, we could be one of the teams competing for that. So we got to clean up some things going into next week. I don't know who we play yet, but it's going to be about us getting off to a faster start, just playing cleaner football. But the way we compete and got to have in moments, I think that's going to make us really tough to compete with. So if we could get a cleaner start, play a little bit more complimentary football, we may not be stressing as much at the end.
What are those things you want to clean up?
You know, I think getting behind the sticks with penalties, I think that's one thing. Just receivers-wise, just allowing us to be in second and manageable. So whether that's catching those intermediate routes. When we get in the red zone, I think we did a great job getting in the red zone and scoring points. But I think the biggest thing that sticks out is when we start to get some momentum offensively, we'll have a penalty or we'll kind of have a lull where we're not executing at a high level. The routes are there, the scheme is there, we're just not executing. So if we want to be able to have a chance to win next week, we got to get off to a fast start immediately and be able to sustain some momentum throughout the game so it doesn't come down to, oh, shoot, you know what I mean? And the great thing about this team, we've been really resilient all year, and we've proven that we can execute in the gotta-have-it situations. But playoffs is a new season, and you got to be able to play for 4 quarters and play well if you want to have a chance to win.
What do you think kind of started to spark in the second half?
I think, you know, obviously when Marcus came in and OZ made that play on the right side, that contested catch against Jordan Lewis, that was a big play for us. You know, up until that point, we've kind of just we're sputtering, a play here, play there, a penalty. But when you get a play that's explosive, it allows you to get a little bit into some more tempo. The defense is scrambling a little bit, and allowed us to get into a hurry-up situation. And, you know, we get the ball to Zach, and it's a touchdown. And a lot of the times you just got to get those 1 or 2 first downs, that first big play, so you could get rolling. But I think it's just really come down to our execution. The plays were there. We weren't as sharp as we needed to be early on. So, you know, when they start making plays, and that puts a little pressure on your team to, all right, somebody has to make the play. But if we just stay consistent with our process and not shoot ourselves in the foot, we're a tough team to compete with.
On the touchdown,
Yeah.
what do you, I'm guessing you know the ball's going to you. So what is your job on the play, and what are you making sure that you do to make sure you end up in the next?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I knew it was going to come down to a one-on-one situation. We tried to get a similar route on the 2-point conversion. I think the timing was a little bit off. You know, Marcus and I haven't quite gotten all those reps together. And so we talked about it on the sideline. He was going to give me a little bit more time to work at the line. And in my mind, I wanted to give him a little bit more time just to form the ball and be able to put it only where I can get it. And he did a great job. We practice that every week high. We call it back 5 throws high above the defender's helmet. And, you know, I just wanted to save the box for him and use a good release. And he put that ball only where I can get it, and I just wanted to attack it with my hands and get my feet down. So, I mean, that was a tough drive. You know, your wind is getting to you, but you got to have that laser-like focus to be able to make those plays. So, for my teammates to trust me to make some big plays on that drive, I'm humbled to be a part of that.
Why do you call it a back 5?
Because you want to put it like high where the defense can't get it. It's almost like, you know, when your grandma puts the cookies high so the little kids can't get it. You know what I mean? So not disrespecting that he's little or anything like that, but if you put that ball a fade low or around a defender, he could get his hands or play through the ball. But if you could put it on the top shelf, it allows us as as receivers to catch that ball, snatch it away to tuck. We literally Tavita really had a presentation on that just this past week, and it's just so cool to see us work through things during the week and see it show up in the game and we execute it.
You remember the last time you were part of a normal end of a game here? It's like every week. This is crazy.
Nah, we got a flair for the dramatics, that's for sure. But, you know, I think, again, it's a testament to our team to be able to be resilient and fight through those. We never know how it's going to show up. I think we all know we could be better in that first quarter, first half. and get a little bit more rhythm for our team, play more complementary football. Because when we do that, I feel like we can move the ball confidently. Defense can make plays, and it's just about staying ahead of the sticks and making the easy plays, making the routine plays routinely. And we didn't do great at that today, but again, DQ, since he's gotten here, is preached about winning time moments and got to have it situations. And we drill those so many times where we get in these situations. We've been here before, so to execute that when we got to have it, we'll take that on to next week.
Obviously, you'll play whoever you're going to play, but is there something to be said for you already faced one of these teams, Tampa? You haven't played the Rams this year. Is there anything to having already seen the team versus having to kind of go in there cold?
I think you got to assume each team is different at this time of season. So if it were to be Tampa, obviously they're probably better than they were when we played them in Week 1, and we're better than when we played them in Week 1. So if we play them, then great. If we play LA, great. We're just looking to be us. I think we're looking into going to play a style of football where we're aggressive early, we're consistent, and we can play a style of ball that's complementary. And if we do that, coupled in with the winning time moments right before half in the game situations, if we can execute that, we'll like where we're at, I believe. And so, this is what it's all about, playing for it all right now. And it's a new season. Everybody's 0-0, and it's going to come down to execution. And great thing for us, we have multiple reps throughout the season where we've proven that we can make the plays when we have to make them. It's just putting it all together now so we can play a more complete game. I appreciate you guys.
That was your wide receiver one, Terry McLaurin. Welcoming in Santana Moss, Brian Mitchell, and Brian Colbert into command to the Postgame Live presented by Nissan. Now, it's time for today's Never Ordinary Moment, presented by Bet365. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. And fellas, talk about never ordinary. It's never ordinary when you set the franchise record for touchdown 13 of
baby.
them things. And the way he did it was in Terry fashion by putting the team on his back and winning us this game. Guys, look at that catch.
Man, we talk about clutch, and we would say Jayden was clutch.
Man.
This football team has a clutch gene. They don't give up. They fight to the end. Terry, and you go to Terry at the end. I said they had to go throw it in the end zone, throw it to Terry. He brought it down.
What's amazing about it is that a drive previously, they threw that same fade, and he threw it a little too high. Yeah. And me and B mentioned with the judge, and I'd say, hey, it's a little too high. But he came right back at him because he knew. He knew he had Mr. Clutch there, man. So put some respect on Terry McLaurin's name. 13, new franchise leader and touchdown, single season for the Commanders. And, man, it's just an awesome job by the whole team, man. They went out there and fought hard and came away with the W.
How impressive is that? Look at those names on that list. He is in rare company. The one and only Santana Moss played in the burgundy and gold, and Terry McLaurin is up there with the best of them. His 8 catches, 62 yards, and a touchdown for 1-7. And fellas, like we always say, it can't be easy, right? They can't never let us not be stressed out. We're going to always be in that tunnel stressed. However, a win is a win, and you got it done on the road against the Dallas Cowboys, and now you've clinched that 6th seed. So before we get into it, let's talk about it. Bucs beat the Saints. So right now we are waiting for that Rams game. If the Rams win, we will be playing the Rams in L.A. But if they lose, we'll be headed to Tampa to play the Buccaneers and get some get back from that Week 1 game. We don't care. We ready for them all. Fellas, how great are y'all feeling, man? What a season it's been. Wow, man.
Man, you know what? It looks like we just started this thing last week in Tampa.
A week ago.
And when you're, like you say, time flies when you're having fun. I've had a tremendous time all year, man, because this team has given us a lot to cheer for. And the thing about it, when you get in games like this, you don't ever just say we don't have a chance, because they have a tendency to come back. They don't give me heartaches, but they have a tendency to come back. And this year has been great, man. Listen, for all the stress we've had, all the drama we dealt with, it's well worth it when you start getting something like this.
You know, we talk about just how much fun we've had, but it's been amazing to me just to see our fans, man, just to see our fans enjoy what these guys have done this year. The franchise was due. This franchise was due a great ownership like the Harris group and good coaches like Dan Quinn, a great GM like AP. And then those players, man, they went out there and did what they had to do week in and week out. So I'm just happy for Washington as a whole because, I told you when I had those electrifying seasons, with my fellow, teammates back in those days, it was great to just shop around, walk around in D.C. alone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they brought that back to D.C.
And you see it. We've seen it all year. Every
Yeah.
place we've been on the
They took
road,
over this stadium.
it's felt like a
Hell.
home game. And today
It was more
felt
Commanders
like
fans than there were Cowboys fans. I'll tell you that.
you heard the roars when we did something good. It was not loud for the Cowboys in here, but that is what our Commanders fans have done all season. Y'all showed up to our live shows on the road. Y'all showed up to every game. Y'all show up to them home games and make it rocking. And that is what helps us win all of these games. So all these things these brothers said, plus our fans, these amazing fans, they standing right here looking at us. They pulled up and showed out, man. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all so much. And this team loves y'all, and that's why they fight so hard. So, fellas, we saw Jayden Daniels for a little bit. It took him out at half. Smart move because you've already clinched the playoffs. Were you guys surprised by that at all?
I wasn't surprised. I figured they would do something. I just thought come out, have a fast start. They didn't today, but you know what? You fight to the end. And it shows you got to have backups on your team that can play. And Marcus Mariota has shown, he showed you today, don't mess around and think he can't play no more football. But the ultimate thing is, you know they're going to take him out at some point. They got him out at halftime. It's come cool with that. But still, that team went out there and they did not stop fighting. They knew they had to go make things happen, and they did. They've been a second-half team all year.
Man, look at this play right here, man. Look at Mariota running it in
man.
like that and just willing this
Swan
team
dive,
to
baby.
a victory. He has not gotten to play. He hasn't been on the field much, but look at what he was able to do for this
Veterans
team.
always stay ready, bro.
And that, we've seen that across the board. Defense, offense, that next man up mentality on this team. They went out and got dogs that are ready at all time. Chris Rodriguez, OZ, all of these guys that come up. Zach Ertz at the end of this season. These guys that have come up and have been ready to play. We have so much more to talk about with this win to put a button on this regular season. But we are waiting on head coach Dan Quinn's presser. We will take that immediately. Then, of course, number 5, Jayden Daniels, his final post-game presser of the regular season. We'll have all that after this break. This is Command Center Post-Game Live, presented by Nissan.
Vacation starts with VA. All that you love, all in one trip. Start yours at virginia.org.
Play Monopoly Scratcher games from the DC Lottery today.
It was like the entire team at Northwest Federal Credit Union was invested in my future and the success of this business. When I tell you I'm a loyal client, it doesn't even begin to say it.
Welcome to Nissan. Are you interested in a test drive?
Absolutely.
There's the all-new Kicks, the new Frontier, and the Nissan Rogue. Consumer Guide's Best Buy 10 years in a row.
Finished with all your holiday shopping?
We are now.
Hurry in to the Nissan year-end sales event. Get 0% APR financing for 60 months on Rogue, one of 6 Nissan vehicles with starting MSRP under $30,000.
Nissan, proud partner of the Washington Commanders.
Hold on. New Bet365 customers get how much? That can't be right.
It's true. Join Bet365 today and get $150 in bonus bets when you bet $5. You could spend them on bets like the spread, run line, totals, and player props.
Well, there you have it. Bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365.
Santa?
Feel the holiday magic of Maryland Lottery Holiday Scratch-Offs.
Vacation starts with VA. All that you love, all in one trip. Start yours at virginia.org.
Command Center Post-Game Live is brought to you by Nissan. You deserve a car that thrills you, and Nissan's got an exciting full line that'll put goosebumps on your goosebumps. Experience the thrill for yourself. Shop your local Nissan store and nissanusa.com today. Live from the sidelines of AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas, is your host, Brian Colbert Jr., joined by Super Bowl champion Brian Mitchell and Mr. 8 to the 9, Santana Moss.
Welcome back into Command Center Postgame Live, presented by Nissan. Your final score, 23-19. We are awaiting head coach Dan Quinn's presser. We will take that immediately. But until then, it is time for your fast play of the game. Brought to you by Maryland Lottery. Please play responsibly. And fellas, this one was 4th and 1. Marcus Mariota's run that got us the first down that we so desperately needed. Fellas, what a big moment for the guy that has not played a lot, was played mentor for a rookie, but man, what a play right here, guys.
Great play. Second pick in the draft.
Yep.
Yeah. He got the Heisman Trophy. You watched him play, and this is what you saw all the time. You know, he's a little older now, but you know what? Don't mean he don't have athleticism.
Still got it in him, man.
The guy, listen, he's been a great mentor for Jayden.
Yeah.
But hell, he know he's gonna have to go into some games sometimes. And he went in there today, he played just like it was his team. You know, and I think veterans, when you get guys like a Marcus Mariota, a selfless guy who's going to be prepared to play, you need veterans like that on your team.
15 for 18, 161 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 56 rushing yards and a touchdown. That's Marcus Mariota. Well, that sound like Jayden numbers. That is Marcus Mariota.
Yes.
When you have a guy like that, right, that we've seen the pep talk he gave Jayden last week, then he comes out here and does this, man. How special is it to have a guy like that in that locker room that is so ready but also so professional at all times?
It's very special. I think one of the things that stood out to me watching him play today is thinking back when my high school coach had this quote, "Opportunity favors the prepared." You know what I mean? And basically what he's saying is that, you know, don't sit there and be saying, all right, they ain't calling on me right now, so I don't have to prepare or be ready. But he's been mentally getting himself focused, also making sure Jayden is, you know, is tight and cool, and then also putting the reps in each and every week. So for one of these moments, knowing that I'm the backup quarterback, any given time I could be called upon. So it's great to have a guy like that understand his role, but also understand when they need me, I got to go out there and play just like the young man who has led us to this point.
You know, he's the type of guy. Like you people always say, "Oh man, they're lucky." No, you're lucky when you're prepared.
Yeah.
Okay. If you're unlucky all the time, you're not prepared.
Yeah.
And I think the ultimate thing is that dude is ready to play football. He's on the sideline. Hell, you know, I've been a backup running back and things like that. Hell, I had to go play quarterback some games. But it's not about when you get the opportunity. Are you going to be ready? Are you going to prepare yourself? Marcus Mariota definitely prepared himself.
Looked great. And it's very impressive, too, because this was without the starting center. This was without the starting left tackle. Brandon Coleman got banged up a little bit. We got sacked 6 times for 43 yards, fellas. So there's still things that we need to clean up. How do we clean that up, or is it just getting healthy before the playoffs?
I mean, I think these guys are pretty much as healthy as they're going to be. You know what I mean? You know, next week, the big dance starts, baby.
Right.
The show starts next week, but I think one of the things is that each and every week you're going to see things on film you can clean up. You know, maybe you want your best today, but next week you can go out there and tighten that up and then go out there. And you know one of the things about the playoffs, you know for sure because you won the Super Bowl. All it does is take one down. You play that game, you win that game, you move on.
Yeah.
You can't worry about the next week, the week after that, just what's in front of you.
Special man. Appreciate you. All right, let's get rolling. Thought, number one, the last 4 games have just been absolutely wild. It really has been. Came right down to the end. It's at New Orleans, at home against Philadelphia and Atlanta, and then back on the road here at Dallas. Thought it took a lot of resilience and a lot of toughness. The guys trained hard for those, what we call winning time moments, but you do have to go execute into those spots. And so tonight to see those moments, and certainly a shout out to Terry to set a franchise record for touchdown receptions. We've been playing football for a long time around here, and that's a big deal. So all that said, get ready to get rocking with you guys.
Coach, can you talk about the importance of playing in these tight games, what it means for a team, like building towards the future?
Sure. And we've talked about this a little bit. As you're building a program, you'd hope you'd be into some really tight games, because that kind of hardness, it didn't always go our way. I want to make sure I'm clear on that. But to be battle ready as a first-year group, this has been a lot of end-of-the-game moments. And we knew we'd have to fight for some, and that was no different going into today. And so they haven't all gone our way. But in that space, on the sideline, you can feel these players know, man, like we're literally never out of the fight. Frustration, yes. Pointing fingers on that, hell no. And so I love that about our group. They know we're not out of it. And in those moments, even when we're behind, even as bad as it felt in the first half, it was a 3-point game and gave up a lot of yards defensively, but I thought them stepping up in the red zone was some big ops. So I love that we're in these close fights. We have trained for it a lot, and so I told them just because we can does not mean we need to. But I'll take the fight and what it stands for.
Marcus, for Jayden at halftime, was that the plan going in, and what were the conversations that helped you?
It wasn't a plan going in. We thought we were going to go all the way, but he had some mild soreness in his leg. I just kind of made the decision, honestly, to say, hey, let's go with Marcus. It felt like it was going to be a game. They were really playing upfield. We're going to have to use the quarterback's legs more. And so it was just really my decision to say, hey, let's go in this route to go. But it wasn't a predetermined one. I just thought that was the way to go going into the second half.
Was that sort of something you'd had before, just flared
No,
out?
no, not at all, Ben. So it was, like I said, just mine, really. And I just thought, hey, this is the right thing to do right here, and let's go for it.
Just the way this team has, you guys haven't played a normal game in a while.
Yeah, it's hard to get the words out. I'm with you there. I couldn't get the words out either. It's wild. It's so much fun, Ben, because of what they stand for. But, yeah, go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, what does that say to win games is one thing, to win them in the end, as you guys have now repeatedly,
Yeah.
and what does that say kind of about what you guys are about at this point?
I think at some point ago, the guys put the agendas to the side and just knew, hey, man, we got to go fight for it. It hasn't always gone our way. Obviously, we know this. Some games that came down again. In fact, the last time was November 24th to lose to Dallas at home, and that was a difficult one. Missed opportunities and moments. They returned a kick. We came back to go them. We onsided. They returned it. So going into I guess about week 10, we had lost 3 straight. Won 3 straight, and we walked into 3 straight losses, and that was hard. Nobody wants that. But as opposed to seeing what would happen, let's see where it goes. It was just the opposite, Ben. It was let's get back onto the practice field. Let's get back into the meeting rooms and see if we can absolutely go fight for it. And Bobby Wagner was at the very front of that. I can remember him, hey, can I talk to the team? It was prior to us playing Tennessee. And no one wants to lose 3 in a row. It's hard. But I do think there was a moment there that took place to show the resilience. And then coming off the bye, being that it was late, maybe there was some energy that got created through that. It's difficult to go that long before, especially as the first-year players. But as we're building it, I do love what we stand for as a group. We've got plenty to work on. I can't even begin to tell you how much. But we do know we're not out of the fight.
Do you see anything tangible from what was learned of those 3 losses that you're now seeing play out in these?
Yes, I think, honestly, John, I have. And here's what I've learned. I thought early on we were kind of riding the wave of emotion. When it was going high, man, we were like the tidal wave, riding it high. When it was low, we could feel it. It was heavy on us. And I said, man, there are going to be these times. And so could we level those out? Not to be emotionless. That's not what I'm saying. But I knew they were going to be there and just stay in it, stay in it, stay in it. And then New Orleans, step in the right direction. Philadelphia, step. Atlanta, step. And so, yes, I have seen the guys level out some, John, to know, hey, man, when it goes good or when it doesn't, you go to the next space. And it took going through that, I think, to get to that spot where we weren't riding the roller coaster. As the season goes and the calendar turns, the roller coasters get bigger. I did not want us to ride those emotions where the high highs were fun, but the low lows you couldn't get yourself out of. And so I think we did make some space, some gains into that space, and we're closer to the mark when it gets hard, and you know what's going to happen.
I apologize for the wrong answer to this, but with Marcus, you've been praising him the last couple of weeks for what he's done behind the scenes.
Yeah.
So when you see him do what he does today, how gratifying is that for you?
Yeah, he's such a cool teammate, and it was fun to be able to celebrate him today because of the work that he does behind the scenes, the unseen work. And it takes a lot to be ready like that. And so if you'd stay after on a Friday, you'd see him going through a 2-minute. You'd see other people putting the work in with him. So today, to have that happen and him deliver at the end, that was a big deal. We're moving closer, then you go into field goal range, and then the big play happens, and then go to clock it. We only had, I think it was 6 seconds at the end. There's a specific time that we want to go into that spot. Can you throw one? Otherwise, we would have had to kick it and go into overtime. So to know that he's always ready for the moment, we practiced it a lot, that's a big deal.
Did you already answer when you made the decision to put him in?
I did coming out of the half. Jayden just had some mild soreness in his leg, and it was just, I thought we were going to need legs in this game. They were playing upfield, Dallas was, so I thought this is going to be a game where the quarterback's going to have to use their legs some, and that was accurate.
You said during the week you would chase the seeding.
I would.
It turned out that it wouldn't have mattered, but those 2 games were simultaneously just kind of going back and forth. Do you just completely ignore that as your game's going on? How do you handle that kind of stuff?
Yeah, nobody, I didn't ask anybody, and no one gave me information on it. I just had found out, that I think Tampa was behind and came back, and so, but no, in Green Bay and Chicago, I didn't. So we knew last night, we had told the team, week 18, it's going to be somewhere. It's on. We'll be slugging it out with somebody. Could we gain some momentum today? Have a running start, so to speak, into the postseason. And I was willing to take that as far as we had to go do that. And winning matters. And it may not seem like that on a sheet or otherwise, but no, I didn't check where it is. I think as we're developing our program, if we're going to be about competing and competition, then we've got to stand for that too.
Yeah, the run game was not fully productive today.
Correct.
But you did get Austin back. Did you see enough from him to be pretty happy? And what do you think of the run
I
game?
was, maybe it didn't show up on the stat sheet, but I was. I think there's some gain that still took place, Ben. And the importance of him coming back now as opposed into next week, that was something that was important. And I was glad that he was able to demonstrate that. There's still emotions with it. And so to be able to play and do that, there's some gains to be made there. So but I'm with you. I would hoped we would have had some, more in the run game, but I'll give them credit too in terms of the plan going in.
Is that a concern though going in? There's been a couple games where Jayden's obviously had some yards, but the running backs maybe not as productive.
I wouldn't say concern, John, but I would say emphasis. And so it's important to me to make sure we have balance to where we can do that. And so I recognize there could be some ones that are dead runs, not dead, but, ones that you just keep staying with it and then you go from there. All right. Thanks, everybody. Safe trip home.
I love this team. I love how everybody approaches their week of preparation and next man up mentality, and you can see it out there with Marcus.
What did it mean to you? Like, Marcus has been really helpful for you. So what does it mean to you? You're smiling already. What does it mean to you to see what he did today?
It means a lot, man. I'm so happy for him and everything he's been through in his career. And he didn't have to, take me under his wing, and he's done that plus more. So, man, I'm so happy for him to go out there and have a game like this, game-winning drive, last play, go out there and walk it off.
Dan said you had some soreness in your leg. What was going on?
Yeah, just some leg soreness. At the end of the day, I respect what the decisions DQ and to make. So now I'm just getting ready for next week.
Was that affecting your ability to get out of the pocket a little bit or anything?
It plays a part, but other than that, it's just that open communication that we have, and ultimately DQ made the decision, so I respect it.
That was just something that came up today.
Yeah.
What was it like? You've been part of a lot of these crazy endings. What was it like to watch Marcus lead it there and then Terry to catch that pass?
I would say even better. Selfishly, want to be a part of that, but obviously just to see those guys and see how Terry just broke the franchise record with a walk-off touchdown, and Marcus, like I said, everything he's been through in his life and his professional career, to get to this point, man, I'm just excited for both of them.
If it had been a game that you all had absolutely had to have, would you have played in the second
100%. Yeah, and they had to drag me off the field.
What was Dallas doing to slow you down in the first half?
To slow me down?
Slow the offense down.
We just got behind the sticks early on. We didn't execute how we were supposed to. They got good football players. Obviously, they trust their pass rush, but, we didn't capitalize on some opportunities that we had.
How do you look at those? Because you're coming back from those games, but you're getting behind in those games. So when you get in the playoffs, how do you process all that? What do you guys do maybe to make sure you stay out of those situations?
Obviously, you just want to play a clean game. Put your best foot forward at the start. You don't want to have to try to have so many come from behind wins. That just speaks to the resilience of the team to never stop fighting.
The fact that you guys have had all these close games down the stretch, does it feel to some degree like the playoffs have already started for you guys even before you're actually in it?
I don't know what the playoffs feel like, so I guess we'll find out next week.
What do you think it feels like? Everybody up here, people heard from guys about it.
Obviously everything's going to be amped up. It's winter go home. You don't have another week, but I think it's more so amped up based off of, the outside noise. Thank you all.
Vacation starts with VA. All that you love, all in one trip. Start yours at virginia.org.
Is my head really that shape? Probably just impressionism. Wait, is he a genius? Should we start saving for our school?
When your questions about life turn into questions about money, there's Erica, the virtual financial assistant to help you spend, save, and plan smarter. Only from Bank of America. What would you like the power to do?
Breaking news and a surprise contender in the marathon.
Yes, Rachel, someone has caught up to the front. He's carrying a fridge.
Something remarkable has just happened.
Talk about keeping your eye on the ball.
What's happening courtside?
From half court, he got it!
I can't believe what I'm seeing. Over to baseball. Richmond's gonna win.
There's no way. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
Welcome to Nissan. Are you interested in
test drive?
Absolutely.
There's the all-new Kicks, the new Frontier, and the Nissan Rogue. Consumer Guide's Best Buy 10 years in a row.
Finished with all your holiday shopping?
We are now.
Hurry in to the Nissan year-end sales event. Get 0% APR financing for 60 months on Rogue, one of 6 Nissan vehicles with starting MSRP under $30,000.
Nissan, proud partner of the Washington Commanders.
It was like the entire team at Northwest Federal Credit Union was invested in my future and the success of this business. When I tell you I'm a loyal client, it doesn't even begin to say it.
Love this? Then you'll really like this. Because it leads to this. While this leads to this. This and this. 100% verified NFL tickets only from Ticketmaster. Take it to the house every time. Ticketmaster, official marketplace of the NFL.
You know, in my lifetime, I've been knocked around a few times. No matter how many times you get knocked down, hell, you got to get up off the turf. Back pain, knee pain, you name it, I had it. But when I walked into the Good Feet store and got fitted for arch support, I feel so much better. Very little pain in my back. I feel no pain in my knee. It is nothing like it. No matter who you are, whatever position you hold, in some way we can help somebody. And that's what the Good Feet store does. They help you keep going with life.
Vacation starts with VA. All that you love, all in one trip. Start yours at virginia.org.
Just one more night, and I'm coming on this long and winding road. I'm on my way. I'm on my way.
There's no place like the road home. Receive a $5,500 bonus on a new 2024 Audi Q5 plug-in hybrid during the Season of Audi sales event.
Welcome back into the Postgame Live presented by Nissan. It's time for our postgame delivery presented by Paisanos. Let's see your Commander score 3 touchdowns today. Make sure you visit your local Paisanos tomorrow where you'll receive 3 free toppings all day long. And as we've been doing for most of the postgame, we are bringing in Logan Paulson to tell us
who Mr. Paisano.
Mr. Paisano.
Mr. Paisano?
Yeah.
Wow.
You like pizza?
That's a big deal.
You like pizza?
Yeah. So who delivered today?
Who delivered?
Marcus Mariota delivered today.
Hell yeah, he did.
That's like an easy one, but he's bringing that pizza right up to your front door. I mean, he did a great job today. Man.
Yes.
Just coming in, it was a little offense was a little stagnant. Felt like the Dallas Cowboys had a really well-designed blitz package that was kind of got Jayden Daniels a little bit, unsettled, and then he came in, set everybody in, explosive plays. I mean, the only pass he missed for his first 10 passes was the one to Bates, where kind of that tough catch in the middle of the field. But really great job.
He put it in the perfect spot.
Selling everything in, making plays with his arms, with his legs. And was it perfect? No, took a couple sacks, but man, that's what we needed. And again, the way he managed that 2-minute drive at the end of the game was absolutely fantastic. Really great job.
And when you have somebody on your team like that, Marcus didn't get much time this year. The game when Jayden got hurt.
To say the least, right? Yeah.
But to come in a game like that, the last game of the season, to be prepared says a lot about him.
I mean, I think that's why, everyone talks about the second, your second string quarterback and why they're valuable, and it's really for their professionalism. And nothing shows that more than a game like today for Marcus Mariota, right? Where he's come in, like you said, he hasn't prepped a lot. He's probably doing a little bit of scout team quarterback, but to know the game plan, to own the game plan, to own the winning time moment at the end of the game, like that was a tough situation there, right? 24 seconds, get the completion, 6 seconds. The Dallas defense is kind of slowly getting off the ball, right? The clock's ticking down, and then deliver a perfect ball to Terry. Like, that's a big time moment. And it's just awesome because everyone says he's just a great human being, great teammate, and so it couldn't happen to a better guy.
Yes.
And it's great to see. We heard from Dan Quinn earlier, and we got cut off a little bit, so you know what? Let's do Toast of the Town one more time. Beamus, you ready?
Lasha Man.
It's time for Toast of the Town, presented by Lasha Man, Day-Rock, Champagne and Branson Cognac, the official champagne and cognac of the Washington Commanders. 50 Cent, hook us up with some of your bottles, brother. Now, the Toast of the Town is Dan Quinn. 12 wins this season.
Oh, wow.
The most wins by a first-year head coach in franchise history. What an amazing season. Logan, you have a personal relationship with Dan Quinn. You do the game plan with Dan Quinn. Talk about what you've seen from him in his first year as the head coach of the Washington Commanders.
I mean, it's really, I wish we could just give it all to Dan, and he is the toast of the town, but it's really just the process from day one. Yes. Adam Peters, the free agents they brought in, the relationship he has with Adam Peters, what Josh Harris has done for the organization, like that's what leads to 12 wins, right? It's everybody on the same team, and he's the figurehead. He motivates the guys, and he deserves all the credit in the world because he's been so consistent with his messaging each week, right? You're always trying to, hey, man, let's look ahead. And he's like, no, not this week, not next week, not ever. So, again, he's carried the mantle. He's carried the messaging. He's got the guys motivated and playing hard. But really, like, it's an organizational thing, right? You bring in the right guys in the draft, bring the right free agents in, and just from the top down, it's been a fantastic thing.
And now we got to look at the road ahead because it's playoff time, baby. It's time for the road ahead, presented by Nissan. At Nissan, we make cars that thrill. Experience the thrill for yourself today. Shop NissanUSA.com. Now, the Commanders have clinched the 6th spot, but we do not know who we're playing yet. The Bucs did beat the Saints. However, we are waiting for the Rams game. If the Rams win, we will play the Rams. If the Rams lose, we will play the Bucs. And you see right here, we have 7 days of content for you that'll get you ready for the playoffs because we not going anywhere, baby. We got shows every day of the week just for the greatest fan base in the NFL. And Logan, as we wrap, because you have a very different perspective and outlook than the rest of us because you are right on that sideline.
Yeah.
So when you're on that sideline, right, and the rest of us are stressed out watching how this game goes, what is the messaging, what is the energy on the sideline when they're doing these games and trying to battle to get that win at the end?
I mean, the crazy thing is it's the same thing every week. It's like everyone says, oh, you got to be comfortable getting into the deep water, and there's no panic. There's no stress. It's just like this is how we operate. We've done this 1,000 times in practice. We've done this 1,000 times in the season. It feels like, and so just the fact that they're so comfortable in the deep water with the big sharks, it's just the moment's never too big for them, for anybody, right? I mean, you think the second string quarterback would have a big, would be a little bit too much, but nailed the moment, and it's so impressive to see these guys do that each and every week, and it's just the consistency of the emotion, which I guess is a credit to Dan Quinn also.
And it's almost poetic because as we wrap, the sun coming down, just kissing us on the skin, just looking good. I feel like that is a perfect way to wrap our final post-game show of the regular season. For Logan Paulson, Santana Moss, Brian Mitchell, and Brian Colbert, this is Command Center Post-Game Live presented by Nissan. We out of this thing to the playoffs, baby! Yes, sir!